Welcome to another edition of This Week in Laker Football with head coach Ron Bellamy. Dave Scott here today, and thank you for joining us. This program made possible by the fine people at Henry Ford Hospital, West Bloomfield, celebrating their 10th anniversary as a full-service hospital here in West Bloomfield. And what a night Friday night, Coach. I mean, we were all hoping you were going to win, but I don't know that anyone thought you were going to shut out Plymouth 35-0. We're going to hear about that in just a second. Saturday football this week. It's Belleville and the Lakers. This is turning out to be a pretty good rivalry in postseason. We'll talk about that. And then we'll also chat with Max Hairston. He's a quarterback for the Lakers, and we'll find out a little bit about that amazing Laker defense this week in Laker football, the program. So, Coach, 35-0. Talk about that game Friday night.
It was exciting. What a way for our seniors to go out, playing in the swamp. Their last game ever, Laker Stadium, and they played well. We played well offensively and defensively, and special teams. They were forced to be reckoned with again, and we're just happy to be able to continue our season.
we joked a little bit, and we will hear from Max in a little bit. And after the game, when I heard you tell the players they're going to get donuts on Saturday. So, that's pretty good. And you've been spending a lot of money on donuts this year. 4 shutouts this year. 4 shutouts. Our defensive staff, they've done a great job preparing the kids. And ultimately the kids go out there on Friday nights and they execute the game plan. And they're playing awesome. It's fun to watch those guys get after it, and the offense is getting after it. And in all 3 phases, we've been playing well. We've been playing with confidence, and the kids are playing with a sense of purpose. Well, and on defense, that was just great Friday night, and it got you off to the right start, too. Mm-hmm. You're in a postseason game. You're playing a team that you only saw once in the last couple of years, seeing them last year. Mm-hmm. They come in 9-1, so you know that they can throw something at you, and then right away on their first set of downs, you force a turnover. That's it. We always emphasize whoever wins the turnover battle usually wins 75% of the games. And that's one of the things where we wanted to get after them aggressively. They only played, one team very similar to us, and that's Belleville. And Belleville got after them a little bit, and we saw some of that on film, and we wanted to kind of echo that same thing. I think the one other thing you were able to do is keep them one-dimensional. Their passing game didn't work all night. Yeah, we're able to get after the quarterback, our DNs and our interior defensive linemen. They were able to get after them. Jaden Green was active, Chris Johnson, Sterling Miles. Those guys were very active in the backfield Friday night, and that's what they're capable of doing, disrupting them. And, if we want to continue to reach our goals, those guys got to play at a high level. One of the guys that's been a big contributor for you all year long, and especially earlier in the season, Bo Davis, was on the sidelines again. How's he doing? What's his status? He's great. We held him out. He's good. He's kind of working through a little something, but he'll be there the next game, ready to roll. Okay. Offensively, wow, talk about injuries. Anthony May comes back after being injured, his first game back. And, if we picked the player of the game, it would have been Anthony May. Yeah, you know what? I laughed because after the game, the Plymouth staff were like, all right, we knew about 1, we knew about 6, we knew about all of us. Who's 4? Because you only exchanged the last 2 games, and, he's missed the last 4. But, man, what a joy to have him back. He went in there. I think he finished with 10 carries for 91 yards and a touchdown. And, that's what senior leaders do. He got his opportunity. His number was called. And, he ran the ball with passion. Protected the ball, and he's tough. He's tough when he has the ball. It's funny. I look at the headlines, and Donovan Edwards is getting all the big headlines in the print media over the last couple of days. But May, he was just absolutely incredible, and it's a big credit to your offensive line. I talked to him after the game. He said he had some pretty big holes in front of him. Yeah, those guys get after an offensive line. My old line coach, Coach John Garrett, does a great job preparing those guys. They're physically strong, they're mentally strong, and they're bodyguards. Their job is to protect, whoever has the ball in their hands, and they've been doing a great job. So C.J. Harris goes down with an injury, probably came into the game a little bit gimpy. My guess is he wasn't 100%, and then he definitely came out due to an injury. You put Donovan Edwards in as quarterback. We've seen him in that position a couple of games already this year, but he was amazing in quarterback. Didn't complete a pass. But what he's able to do with the ball, down after down after down, you're running May, and then he's back there to pass. And I think the defense forgot
who this guy is. It's quarterback, and he scrambled out and went for, I think it was like a 55-yard touchdown.
Yeah, he's special. He's dynamic with the ball in his hands, and when he's playing quarterback, essentially still playing running back when he does run the ball. He's just getting the ball faster. So he's able to get downhill. He's able to read things a little quicker, and what a fantastic player. But I'm sure if Donovan was here, he'd talk about everyone else. He talked about his line blocking and the receivers blocking downfield to spring him for those long runs.
Well, no question about it. It was the entire team. But let's say he is in at quarterback. Do you become a one-dimensional team at that point?
No, he's played quarterback before. He could throw the football. We just, there's no need for us to show that, But he'll keep you honest. If you want to come and put 8 in the box, he'll throw the ball over your head. He's capable of that. He's dynamic. He's a special player.
Well, we did see that. As I think back, we did see that. I don't know if it was a flea flicker or some kind of special
the touchdown he threw to Cruiser.
Right. And what was that, like 30, 40 yards?
35 yards,
Big pass downfield.
Yeah, he's capable of that. Something we work on. We just don't work on running. Work on passing also. So, got to keep a defense honest. But, we'll see. If Donovan has to play quarterback, if his number's called, he'll be ready.
All right. We're going to talk a little bit more about what's going to happen on Saturday after we take a break. You're watching This Week in Laker Football. Head coach Ron Bellamy. I'm Dave Scott. We'll take a break and be back and take a look at Saturday's game against Belleville. You're watching Civic Center TV and listening to us on the radio on 89.3 Lakes FM. LakesFM.com. We'll be right back.
Laker football is live every Friday this fall on Civic Center TV, WBTV, and 89.3 Lakes FM. Tune in before every game kicks off at 7 p.m. for live analysis from Dave Scott and Tyler KIEFT, and then another great Laker football matchup. You can listen on Civic Center TV, WBTV, and of course on the radio on 89.3 Lakes FM and on the web on lakesfm.com.
Welcome back to This Week in Laker Football. I'm Dave Scott with head coach Ron Bellamy. Thank you for joining us on Civic Center TV and on 89.3 Lakes FM and lakesfm.com. Well, it just seems like it was yesterday. We were down in Belleville. We were leading. It looked like we were going into the semis. And Belleville last year came back, somehow found a way to get a touchdown late in the game and steal that one from you. Have you been thinking about that game since that night?
To be honest with you, I don't know. I guess I'm weird like this. I'm able to block certain things out. I was able to block that out, but I understood what it took to kind of get back to this moment, and our kids and coaches do as well, and that's why we're here again. It's a new opportunity for us. We respect Belleville, but in our eyes, they're a phenomenal team, but they're a team. They're a team that's in our way of reaching our destiny, and our kids they're excited about the opportunity to play these guys, Saturday, and we'll see what happens.
I don't have the numbers in front of me, but just off the top of my head, didn't they put up something crazy like 61 points in their victory on Friday night?
67-14 over Woodhaven.
But what are you going to do to slow them down, and do you think you can slow them down? A very powerful, potent offense.
I think we have a good game plan. The goal for us is to limit the big plays. Don't let these guys score 1 and 2, 3 play drives. Make them move the ball. For us defensively, don't blow any assignments. Offensively for us, we got to be able to run our offense, move the football, flip the field position, make the play on a long field, and win the special teams battle. And most importantly, win a turnover battle on Saturday. That's the goal for us. Our kids know the agenda doesn't change for us. The opponent does, but the agenda doesn't. And they understand what the task is ahead of them. They understand how talented this Belleville team is, but they also understand how talented they are. So, it's something's going to have to give on Saturday afternoon, and I'm excited about the challenge. I think this is the most anticipated high school football game of all year in the state of Michigan. And it's one that a lot of folks wish would happen, the last Saturday in November. But it's not. We got placed on the same side of the bracket, and such is life. And we'll be ready for the challenge.
Going to be a good game. It's such a big game that a lot of people will be tuning out that cross-state rivalry that'll be going on right down the road at exactly the same time.
Well, I had the Michigan Wolverines called me today, and they were like, "What? You guys play Saturday at 1?" Because obviously, they have a kid committed to Michigan and potential recruits over there, and we have 2 and potential recruits. So they definitely wanted to get them on campus on Saturday for the game. But we didn't pick the schedule, we didn't pick the time, but we will show up.
And maybe it's a little bit better. Last year's game was definitely impacted by weather. Maybe that favors a team like yours that is so strong defensively. But Saturday, daytime, sunshine, weather forecast still early. Looks pretty good, though. That hopefully won't be a component to this year's game.
Well, we got to stop them, but they got to stop us too. I don't want to give them too much credit. We haven't played this game yet, but we know we're up against. We played them last year. I'm not enamored about numbers. They won by 53. Felt like we could have won by 53, Friday night. We could have won both our games by 53, but I'm not that kind of coach. I respect our opponents and, give everybody opportunity. I think it's important to give everyone opportunity to play.
I was thinking while we were going through the game and announcing the scores of the other games, I'm just thinking, wow, what must other people watching our score be thinking about West Bloomfield? You come in, you shut out a team 35-0 that won their division and went 9-1, and they got to be thinking that West Bloomfield defense, there's something special. Yeah,
our kids, man, they bought into the they bought into the culture. That's doing things the right way, trusting one another, doing your job, and most importantly, you play with effort. You play for West Bloomfield. And those kids have bought into that culture, and they're playing at a high level. And it's fun to watch them prepare. We stress as coaches to the kids all the time, your success is dictated by your preparation. And week in and week out, they come in ready to go. They get the game plans, and they execute it flawlessly. And you see the results on Friday nights.
I'm sure they're not watching this video in Belleville, but two Achilles heels that seem to still be there for your team. Some post-whistle penalties and just some trouble, jumping off sides every once in a while. The hard count has been tough for your defense to handle.
It's younger guys. Usually it's the guys that, we played a couple offensive linemen who don't get a chance to play on the defensive line often. And, teams see that. Guys that's new in that position, they study film just like we do, and they get you. That's one of the things we're stressing. Limit the pre-snap penalties, the offsides, the false starts. Those things you could control. You could control the unsportsmanlike conduct penalties, the holdings, the pass interferences. That's just, that's referee's discretion. If they feel like it's a holder. But everything we do, we try to be technique sound, and pre-snap penalties is a part of that. So the guys know in order to reach their goals, we got to clean that area up.
Okay. But you seem very confident. I'm sure your team is very confident. Is there a fine line as a coach? You want your program going in confident, but you don't want them being too cocky either. How do you manage that?
It's about the preparation. Our kids will never be. They always. My goal as a coach is always to make sure the kids are confident. They won't be confident unless their coaches are confident. And the one thing we stress to our boys is visualize success. Once you visualize success and your opponent, and you hear me say the word preparation, a few times already, you're confident. And you're confident in your abilities. And our kids feel like, some of them that don't have some of the accolades as others, they feel like it's a great opportunity for them to get those accolades. If someone, has 10 offers or they're committed to these big schools, hey, what better way to showcase myself than, win my one-on-one matchup with the individual? And our kids feel that way. I'm sure their kids do too at Belleville. So, like I said, it'll be a great game. Our kids aren't afraid of the moment. We're not afraid of the stage. We've been on it. We've played arguably the toughest schedule in the state of Michigan this year, and one of, if not the toughest. And we're just going to keep pounding away and getting better each and every day. And any opportunity we have to get better, we're going to seize that moment.
And you come in a lot healthier this year to this game than you did last year.
Yeah, absolutely. This will be Belleville's first time seeing Anthony May and Donovan Edwards. Neither one of those guys played last year in the game. So something that I'm sure their coaches are saying, wow, that was a close game last year, but it's a whole different roster. They lost a lot of talent last year, but, their program, much like our program, you don't rebuild, you reload. And it's a lot of new faces, for us too. And like I said, it'll be an exciting game. Both teams are fairly young, a lot of juniors on the field that's going to be impactful, some sophomores that's going to be impactful. So it should be a good game on Friday night.
Does that help you being able to substitute? Does that help you being able to substitute players. You don't just have to run the same 11 guys in offense and defense. You're moving guys in and out all night long.
Yeah, you know, some guys do things better than others. Certain situational things require situational players, and that's our goal. You know, is always to you know, that particular down, you play the best 11 on the field, and that's what we continually try to do, play our best 11 football players, and, you know, we're trying to win that down. We're trying to win that play.
Must have felt good on Friday night to have the game secure, to be able to give some of the seniors and other guys that haven't had a lot of playing time, especially postseason playing time, an opportunity to get some experience.
Yeah, man, you know, it was tough. It was tough in the season, especially the first 5 games. Every game seemed like it was, you know, by touchdown or such, you know. We had to play our guys that played most of the game. And then, you know, got a couple breaks, you know, play some, you know, lesser talented teams. And everyone played, and then you got to the De La Salles. And, you know, fortunately for us in the playoffs, our league is so tough. It has prepared us for the first 2 rounds of the playoffs. And we're able to play everyone. You know, even the JV kids that we moved up from the JV level, everyone got opportunity to play. And we're just trying to get better and just continue to grow and develop as a team.
All right, just between us, you got any tricks up your sleeve for Saturday?
Nah, we don't run any tricks. Nah, we're too boring.
You do like to put new wrinkles in almost every game,
We'll
though,
do
and
that.
I'm sure they're going to see that in your film. They got to be thinking, well, what's Bellamy going to do this week?
Yeah, you know, it's about the preparation, right? We tell it's not just kids, it's coaches too. And, you know, we want to shake things up. Obviously, they're doing the same thing. Try to find some deficiencies, some areas where you can attack your opponent, and, you know, try not to give them the same look. Make them think a little bit, and you play a little slower when you're thinking.
Snow earlier in the week, and when we're recording this, snowing like crazy. Does that impact your practice, their practice?
Oh, absolutely. A little snow is tolerable. A lot of snow, not so much. But you know, you make the practice, the modifications in practice to prepare yourselves for whatever the weather dictates. It doesn't matter. We practice in rain, blood, you know, mud, whatever it is. It doesn't matter. We're gonna show up. We want to prepare our kids for any type of element, and you know, our kids respond to that.
Max Hairston, your junior cornerback. Mm-hmm. We're going to talk to him in a minute. Talk to us about Max.
Awesome kid. Awesome. You know, Max is one of those kids that, you know, basketball was his first love, and, you know, which is fine. You know, I'm always trying to get other kids, you know, play multiple sports, even our football kids. Sure. You don't specialize in one sport, play multiple sports. And, you know, Max, you know, came in freshman year, played football, and sophomore year played JV, did a good job, undersized kid. And then, you know, his first year on varsity, and, you know, he's been competing. He's been competing and having some fun and doing some great things out there. And I'm excited to see him. You know, I challenged him to run track in the offseason, get a little faster, and he did, and qualified for the state track meet and became all-state in track. So, you know, what an honor for a kid like Max. And, you know, he's going to continue just to grow and develop. And, you know, he's fun to be around, fun guy, energy guy, student of the game, always asking questions. And, you know, Max, you know, he's going to have a big game Saturday. I could feel it. You know, I know he's excited about it. He and I have had our personal conversations about Saturday's game, and he's ready to get it going.
We'll be back with more of This Week in Laker Football in just a moment on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM and lakesfm.com.
Hi, I'm Debbie Binder, West Bloomfield Township Clerk. Are you good with technology? Do you like to help people? Do you want a job opportunity that looks awesome on your resume or college app? We invite you to apply to become a paid election inspector. It is a long day, and you must be 100% committed to showing up. However, it is also rewarding and educational. Please call the clerk's office at 248-451-4848 for more information or to request an application. Thank you.
Welcome back to This Week in Laker Football. Dave Scott here at the high school gym in West Bloomfield with junior cornerback Max Hairston. Max, thank you for joining us on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Really good to meet you today. And look how happy you are. Look at that big smile. And why not smile after a 35-0 victory over Plymouth? You guys have been strong all season, but did that performance even surprise you a little bit?
You know, Our defense is lights out, so I kind of expect that.
You know, I don't know if I got the whole story, but I was fortunate enough to be on the field when Coach Bellamy was talking to you guys after the game, and I thought I heard him say that you guys were all going to get donuts on Saturday morning. I mean, I don't want to give Belleville anything that here on the show, but is that because of the shutout?
Yes, sir. Every time we get a shutout, it's Donut Saturday.
And I think we've had 4 of those so far this year. 4 shutouts, at one point 11 quarters without giving up any points. You guys have been stingy. You know, what's the secret?
Man, we just work. Like, at this point, it's expected. All the work we put in, all the long hours after school, you know, our body's taking a hit, but we just have to play through it because the end goal is to get that state championship, and that's what we're headed to.
Well, everyone seemed pretty happy Friday night, and one of your goals was met. I know you have others, but one was met by getting that district championship trophy. And everyone seemed pretty happy Friday night. What were your feelings?
It was great. Getting our first piece of hardware this year, you know, I'm excited for what we have.
Well, you know, one of the things that Tyler and I talked about in the pregame show before the game, we said, if the Lakers can make Plymouth one-dimensional, then they got a really good shot to win. You guys did that. I mean, you shut down their passing game entirely. They weren't able to throw the ball all night long. You totally shut them down. Was that part of your design?
Yeah, we went over all their plays. You know, the game plan was nice. We had it all figured out, and we just worked towards it, and it showed in our game Friday.
All right, and why don't you talk a little bit, I know you're in the secondary, but talk a little bit about the job the guys do in front of you, the linebackers and that amazing defensive line.
Oh, yeah, our linebackers, phenomenal. Defensive line, phenomenal. I trust those guys.
You know, I mean, it's just great to see the ends and the guys in the middle of the line. I mean, part of the reason the passing game was so effective is they were creating a ton of pressure on obvious passing downs.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's one thing, our linebackers and our D linemen, that they're great at applying pressure to the quarterback and forcing him to make bad decisions.
Well, and that happened quite a bit, and you guys have been creating that same kind of thing all season long. But now you got a big game against Belleville. We had them last year, and then we opened the door, and they were able to come back and beat the Lakers late in the game. They're a great team. They've been scoring a ton of points. They put, I think, like 60 on last week.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? What are you thinking going into the Belleville game?
I'm excited. I'm really excited. Now, I think this is a game where the secondary, I think this is our time. You know, they like to throw the ball. They like to throw deep. I think we just got to get our technique right, and we'll be ready.
Now, talk a little bit for people that only listen to the games on the radio, maybe you haven't gotten out to see them. Talk a little bit about the defensive schemes you guys use and maybe some of your favorite.
I love when we go press man. I love when the corners have cobra, which means we blitz. And our defensive coordinator, our DB's coaches, they're great.
So, I mean, that always puts a lot of stress on the secondary. When you got the guys blitzing up front, then you're playing, I assume Cobra is a man defense in the secondary. You're one up on somebody without any insurance policy. You like that?
I love it. You know, it applies pressure, but, you know, I'm ready for that. We prepared all week for that.
So the defense, you know, a lot of people say defense wins championships. Your defense is in a good place heading into this game on Saturday and hopefully a run to Ford Field. But you feel confident?
I'm very confident. I trust all of those guys.
So talk a little bit about what it was like sitting on the sideline. C.J. Harris, quarterback, goes down. Donovan comes in at QB. What are you thinking, and what were your observations of what Donovan was able to do last week?
Man, Donovan, he's great. He's great. And I expected that, like I said. You know, we go at it at practice. Iron sharpens iron, and he gets us better, we get him better. We've prepared to get this far. You know, it was expected.
All right. Any difference playing on Saturday, or it just doesn't change much for you this week?
We just got to prepare.
All right.
Technique, get all that under, you know. We just got to do our thing. We've been doing all year.
Max, I always like to ask this at the end of these interviews. What do you do when you're not practicing or playing football? What do you do with your time for the fun of it?
You got to watch film. I watched 3 hours last night.
There's no fun. It's football season. Well, come on. I mean, don't you like play video games, or you got a hobby or something you do when you're not working on football?
I'll take a break, but I got to get back to the film.
Ladies and gentlemen, he is all business. Junior cornerback for the Lakers, Maxwell Hairston. Thank you very much. Good luck on Saturday, and we'll sure be talking to you after the game.
For sure. Thanks for having me.
All right, good to have you on the show. We're going to take a break. We'll be back and spend a little more time with Coach Bellamy. You're watching This Week in Laker Football. We'll be back in a moment on Civic Center TV and Lakes FM and lakesfm.com.
You want it, you got it. Civic Center TV has been bringing you live coverage of your local municipal meetings for years. Now you can catch a replay of those meetings the following day at 1 o'clock and again on Saturdays and Sundays at 9 a.m. If that's not enough, you can also visit civiccentertv.com/meetings to view a whole list of on-demand Township Board meetings and keep up to date on the most recent developments in your local government. Giving you more, it's Civic Center TV, television that's close to home.
Welcome back to This Week in Laker Football with head coach Ron Bellamy. You having fun, Coach?
I love it.
Well, we are. The community is. The school is. I mean, everywhere I go, people know I'm doing these games, and they want to talk about it. Community is fired up big time.
No, we're pleased with that. That's who the kids want to represent. That's who the coaches want to represent. We don't just do this for ourselves. We do this for our school, our student body, and our community. We love the support that we get from them, and we want to put a great product out there. And it's fun to watch the boys, what they stand for and what they play for.
Well, and it's not just what they're doing on the field. It's all the programs off the field. It's mentoring younger kids at Roosevelt and the other schools. You got a great group. So for folks that want to come to the game on Saturday, it's Saturday 12 noon in Belleville. 1 p.m. Saturday 1 p.m. in Belleville, and I'm sure you would appreciate it. Team would appreciate it to have a lot of people in the swamp in Belleville.
Yeah, let's turn Belleville into the swamp. They're going to have a lot of people on their side. They pack their stands. Saturday's going to be a cold one, but it'll be tolerable. But we need our side. We need our stands packed, and it'd be great. It'd be great representation for West Bloomfield, and cheer our young men on, cheer them on to victory, and they love the support.
All right, congratulations on a great district championship.
Thank you.
And good luck going for the regional championship on Saturday. We'll be right there with you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, there he is, head coach Ron Bellamy. Thank you for taking time today, Coach. Make sure you tune in Saturday, 1 o'clock for the game. We'll have it for you live on the radio and right here on Civic Center TV, at least the audio on Civic Center TV. Thanks again to the fine people at Henry Ford Hospital, West Bloomfield, for helping us make these broadcasts possible all season long. Henry Ford Hospital, West Bloomfield, celebrating 10 years right here in our community as a full-service hospital. We'll see you Saturday at 1 o'clock. Thank you very much for tuning in to This Week in Laker Football right here on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM and lakesfm.com.